Everywhere I go I see devil horns and halos. Devil horns and halos. Devil horns and halos. Devil horns and halos. I've been a part of.
My man, what's up, man?
Hey, Benji, how you doing?
Good, man. Finally got this all put together for me.
Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just want to make sure I'm at work now because I'm at work now, so I didn't pick this on my headphones.
Oh, okay. Oh, did I mess you up, man, by not being able to do it at 6?
So, I mean, I'm just trying to be as flexible as possible. That was where I was on. I scheduled my break then to be able to do it. And
oh man, I'm sorry about that.
I'm flexible. I'm good.
All right, well, you ready to get started then?
Yeah.
All right, man. This is Benji Womack doing an interview with Tito of St. DIABLO, man, for pickhives.com. So let me get right into this, man. So November 13th, man, is right around the corner. What are you going through right now, waiting for the release of the Devil Horns and Halos?
I'm sorry, what was that? Can you hear it all?
I was like, so November 13th, right around the corner. What are you going through right now, waiting for the release of the Devil Horns and Halos album?
Oh wow! So we got so much to plan for. We have we just put out the video, and we just prior to that, we just got out all the pre-orders, the pre-order links. We have been getting ourselves positioned to be able to be on tour right around the time that we release. So we were, trying to leverage ourselves to get onto a decent tour, and then we did. And just now we're prepping for that tour and the release at the same time. There's so many things that, on top of it, we got interviews from esteemed colleagues such as yourself, and we have a whole bunch of other type of promo materials that we still need to shoot. We're also doing some merchandise orders, and we're also doing some planned promotional events with some regional and statewide and national companies. Just trying to get the word out there in every facet that we can. We have a really good ad program. We have a really great team with the clips, and we're just all hands on deck. And if we find ourselves with 5 minutes to breathe, then we feel guilty because we should be spending that breathing time on something that is gearing and prepping us towards the album. So we're really, really, really busy. And then as soon as the album drops, it's not going to be any easier. And it's actually going to be like, just the next level of things for us. As soon as the album drops, we then go on tour with Seasons After and Everybody Panics. It's a tour that's sponsored by Revolver Magazine, and we're just really excited to be part of the package. And we'll be doing it's called South for the Wind Tour, and we'll be on tour from November 21st to mid-December. And then right after that, we're going to jump on to another big tour, which I'm not at liberty to say with who yet, but it's going to be a pretty big tour. I'm just really excited. It's a big time for us, and it's still an uphill battle for recognition and for positioning and for market value, but it's really, really excited to get out there and show what we've been cooking for the past 3 years.
Right on. Well, you kind of answered a couple of my other questions that are coming up, but I'm going to wing this.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, so when I was reading about the struggles you guys were going through and the way it helped, create what your band has become, I totally was intrigued with you guys because, I was totally relating with you because, for me, when my life is at its darkest point, I write the best material I ever write. And then, when things are so good, I can't write nothing. It's funny how when your life is in its darkest moments, you find yourself creating the best work you ever done. You do agree or disagree with that?
Oh, I completely agree with you. And unfortunately, as artists, we are going to forever be slaves of dramatic catalysts. everything is a reaction of something else, and if you don't suffer for your art, then what is it? So it's like I couldn't agree with you more. Some of the there's time and place for really uplifting, happy, fluff type stuff, and I guess that kind of stuff comes from when you're blissfully happy. But I happen to agree that some of the best work that we're capable of comes from when we're uncomfortable. It comes from when we don't know the answers. I personally turn to music the way that some people turn to religion. I'm not saying that like music is a god, but I instead of talking to myself and not being able to produce something out of it, I talk to myself and make songs, and I turn to music like religion when times are tough. So I couldn't agree with you more.
Wow, man, you just like totally turned this interview around for me, dude. Because like these answers are perfect, man. I feel like I'm inside your head, man. This is awesome. Because I do look at music as a religion. It's like, people ask me what my higher power was, and it took me years to figure it out. It was always there with me the whole time. It was music. You know what I'm saying? It's the only thing that gets me, out of any situation that I'm in, man. I got that. I'll somehow get through it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I read that you guys were averaging about 200 shows per year. Now, was that from day one when the first album came out, before the self-titled album, or is that, since you guys been, not since 93?
Oh, well, I mean, in 93 we started in high school, so there's no way that I've been able to go to high school and still pass 200 shows a year then. No, that was 200 shows a year was pretty much like between 2001 and like 2010. We were steadily growing ourselves and growing the brand, and we were going out on tour with Mushroom Head. We went out on tour with some Sound Civilian. We did an Oldie tour, Salem Cigarettes competition that ended up with us playing in New York City with Busta Rhymes at the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Nice.
We were doing some really cool stuff, and up until I'd say right at the end of 2012 is when things like, ironically, when we had our last national release, things started to slow down right before our last national release, and then right after our last national release, things started to slow down for us just due to a lot of personal issues and turmoil. People were dying around us. People were going to prison around us. People were getting cancer around us. People were giving up on us. People were betraying us. The whole gambit. Just life happened. And in that struggle, we basically just did what we could to keep ourselves together and play as many shows as possible. But 200 shows a year is where we were right before we did our last national release. And basically, when the problems started happening, we had to scale down. We lost our agent. We lost some representation. It was some dark times, and we were, our producer was Gladius Maximus and Guar. A CD was stuck in his computer when he was dead.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine trying to pull out your CD from a dead man's computer? For real.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. He was an awesome dude, man, too.
So, it was so many things that were getting in the way that 200 shows a year is where we were pretty much right before our national release. And then during our national release, we did a really awesome run within this moment, had PE and a bunch of other cool bands in between all that. But since the end of 2012, we've been prepping and gearing and positioning ourselves for what we consider to be the biggest next step of our lives. We have a legendary producer. We didn't write our songs like just when we could. We locked ourselves into a warehouse for 7 to 8 months, and then we recorded for another 2 months. So there was, of course, almost no shows during that time. So 200 shows a year is where we were when we were like all engines running, getting that notoriety that got us that first national release. And then when the first national release came up, life happened. Sorry for the long answer, but I hope that's
no, man, that's fine. Okay, so I also noticed, man. Is that your phone or mine?
Oh no, that's here in the office.
Okay. I thought someone was trying to call me. Let's see. I also noticed since the birth of San Diablo, you guys have been through a lot of lineup changes. What was going on with that, and do you feel this one is the one to create San Diablo to what it was meant to be in the first place?
Oh, well, I mean, gosh, when we first started St. Diablo, it was high school. You know, I took my project to college, and I took my project out of college and then put it on the road. Put it on the road for like 8 years, and then took it off the road for like 3 or 4 years, put it on the road for another 2 years. During all of that, life happens. People have babies. People give up. People get in trouble, go to jail. People get hurt. People lose faith. People lose vision. And all those scenarios is like cancer. And when you get cancer, you cut it out or you die with it. I mean, I can understand being attached to an arm. I can understand being attached to a memory. I can understand being attached to a body part that has cancer. But you need to cut it out or you die with it. And that was the choice that we had to make. And I mean, I have lost more friends than I could count because of band. But I'm still alive today and not behind bars because of band. So it's a pretty decent trade.
Right, man. So with this new lineup,
me and Justin, my guitarist, have been together since day one.
Yeah.
He's been with me since the very, very, very first day.
Yeah, I noticed that most of your changes were based in drums.
Yeah, and then the drummer and the bassist that we have today are just ridiculous. I think everything that we went through is just to be able to be who we are today. And I know everyone says that, but the difference is that everything we went through got us to the best album we've ever written, with the best producer we've ever had, with the resources involved in going and making this happen are just ridiculous. And somehow it actually happened. So the people involved, Brian is a prodigy when it comes to drumming. Our producer, Tim Giles, who worked with Anthrax and El Nino and Taking Back Thursday and a bunch of other people, he looked at our drummer like a prodigy, and to get that type of a compliment from him, who is a drummer by trade as well, was just proof in the pudding. And our bassist, he's such a gearhead. He's such a gearhead, and he's so awesome at being at knowing the stage and knowing what a band means, because he spent so many years touring and teching with us and other bands. And he's teched Dave Matthews. He's teched so many people that it's just ridiculous. And all that experience together culminates for such a well-prepared musician that we have in him what we didn't have in like 3 people in the past, including a bassist and some techs. So incorporating a drummer that is looked at as a prodigy, incorporating a bassist that actually works as hard as 3 people, and incorporating the guitarists that I've been with since I was in middle school, I think today is when we are in the best position to like melt faces and put our name in a timeline of rock and roll.
Right. Yeah, so you're like in my head, man. Like you already answered what I'm going to ask you next. Kind of, it's crazy. so
you're recording this, right?
Oh yes.
Great explanation.
So with this new lineup and new album, do you feel like you did when you first started playing again, or is this like a whole different like level of playing that you haven't done before? And is there like any negative thoughts that something will try and hold you back again and mess this up?
When you start with the first part of that question. This album was like it was like no album we've ever done. This album, basically, we've done many albums in the past, independent albums, and in many regards, this is the first album we've ever done in comparison to all that stuff. When we consider the difference between professionalism and there's a whole bunch of there's a technological movement today of kids buying computers, sitting in the basement and cranking out some cool tunes, and I'm not taking away from any of that. But there are some mad scientists out there who split musical atoms and pull out genius that we can't just do if we buy a Mac, and some Pro Tools. There are some people that can squeeze every last bit of juice out of the raw talent that you have, and that's what Tim Giles did for us. Tim Giles did for us. In many regards, this album was the first album we've ever done, but because we've been around for so long, we were able to take some in-room experience in there, so it's not like we were stumbling around trying to figure our asses from the ground. It was just more of he gave us a new vision, or a new way to look at ourselves and to look at our music and to look at our art. He basically told us we suck and it could be better. And when we thought it was great, it was okay. And it didn't suck, but it could be better. And when we thought it was awesome, he's like, I think we're getting there. And he just kept pushing us and pushing us. We didn't have that in every other album we ever had. All the other albums we ever had were welcome to 7-Eleven. You want to buy a Slurpee? Cool, here's a Slurpee. Now get the fuck out. And this was not that case. Tim Gillis, he not only took the project on about a year in advance, he then spent that year from a distance doing pre-production, and then coming with us and spending weeks at a time with us, hammering out in the warehouse, doing more pre-production with us. I mean, this was like no album we've ever done, because our Obi-Wan Kenobi, our Yoda, was with us in the warehouse telling us how much we sucked and how to be better, as opposed to, again, welcome to 7-Eleven. You want to record an album? Hurry the fuck up and do it and get the fuck out. It's not that wasn't the case. In many regards, we've never recorded a CD like this one. So we're really excited about the opportunity of showing it off. And not only that, but we're already writing new stuff, basically trying to capture our personal growth during this transition, and trying to capture all that juicy life drama, and making sure that we have a lot of good material for our next round of songs. Will be out very, very, we'll be out soon after this album comes out. But I just want to make sure you give it a good foundation.
Awesome, man. Is there any song on this new album that you love the most, and why?
It's such a hard answer. It's such a question. It's a hard question to answer. We band members, we basically almost had a knife fight trying to figure out which one was going to be the single. we were at each other's throats in full on argument rage, that trying to defend our thoughts. And at the end of the day, we realized, I guess it's a good problem when all the songs are so good that everyone wants to fight for each one of them. So to be honest, I look at each one of these songs like children, and I think that amongst all my children, I have some plumbers, I have some congressmen, I have some police officers and firefighters, and I have some astronauts, and they're all special to me. But when it comes to the ones that I think are going to go the furthest, I mean, you and I both know that when it comes to commercial success, you're either going to be extremely, extremely hardcore so that you can fall into the small niche of being a king of hardcore, or you got to be flexible and have a whole bunch of different variety to be able to be marketable and more in a bigger range of audience. And we've never been the hardest of the hardest, but we've never been soft easy working in music either. So it's a challenge that we basically face, and we try to make the most of all of it. But we do think that the more original we are, and the more that we show off all the different varieties, the things that we like, and the better we'll be.
It's a great album, man. I listen to it all day today, man. I put it on repeat, man. Listen to it at work while I was out, taking care of the greens, man. I mean, it's it wasn't even one song that I wanted to skip through. I just let it kept going, man. It was good.
I personally love Ancient Astronaut because, I mean, people, Ancient Astronauts and Trust Me and Survive This and Last Fight, all of those songs speak to me. Like, all of them speak to me. But, like, Ancient Astronauts is like, people think that I'm trying to say that God doesn't exist. And I'm like, no, I'm just saying that God is God. It doesn't need money. It doesn't need weapons. You really need talking, shitting monkeys to do God's work. If God is God. I'm not saying God doesn't exist, but I love poking that bear. I love poking that honored institution. I love looking for topics that people are just testy the second you touch it. And I love putting it in a way where they get offended, but they didn't even really listen, because I'm not saying God doesn't exist. I'm just saying that God doesn't need money. And songs like Trust Me.
That's what I was going to say. That's my favorite one on the album. Trust Me and Devil's Horns and Halos. Those are my two personal favorites.
That's awesome to hear, because Trust Me Trust Me was one of the older songs on that album. We wrote that song and then we saved it because we knew we wanted to put it on that album. So we rewrote that song like 4 times to make it what it is now. But I mean, did you get from the song that basically I'm saying that music is a German hooker who doesn't?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean that's your lyrics, man. You kind of like write like you kind of write like me, man. It's like it's this weird hearing. It's like hearing myself in somebody, man. Like that's the lyrics. I love them, man. I was sat there and read through every one of them, man. I was like pulling the woods man at work, man. It was like listening to some of this so I could read some of the stuff off my phone, man. I was like, yeah.
I appreciate it. I say we because I take inspiration from so many different people and so many different things, but everything on the album, either I did this, my friends did this, or my enemies did it. And, I mean, it's good stuff. I mean, like I'm not writing about what I don't know, and I'm really passionate about what I do know about, and I really love to share what I'm passionate about. So I think that's key when it comes to how I write. I write in rap hip hop form. I mean, my first group and my first musical endeavor was a hip hop band and group when I was in middle school, and then I mean, it really wasn't real. It was a bunch of kids writing raps in study hall and then battling each other. But nonetheless, that's where I come from, and I took that structure of writing lyrics, and I've never changed it. When I write one of our songs, the earliest version of it is a hip hop song. It's like a rap, but then like I take that rap and I apply it to the hardcore, and sometimes I redid like half of the song, but I end up playing the parts that are the most awesome.
Okay. Is there anyone that you haven't played with yet that you just all said done? What's your dream lineup?
I haven't played. See, I would say I haven't played with Deftones, and I want to so bad. I've played with Korn. I've played with Soulfly. And
I've actually seen you guys. You know what? I have actually seen you guys. I remember I was talking to you yesterday, and I said, man, I don't know how you slipped through my fingers. I've seen you at the Mayhem, man.
Yeah. Exactly. We were at several Mayhems, actually. We did like 4 or 5 of them back when the Meganmeister was the one that was in charge of the music program. But since then, Jaeger's not been back in that position anymore. And since then, Mayhem Fest has left as well. So it's a bunch of reorganizing. Hopefully we'll be able to get our footing in the next big thing, just like those Mayhem Fest.
All right. Okay. What is your thought on legalization of marijuana?
Too many people in jail for nonviolent drug offenses, and it's ridiculous, and it's a modern form of slavery. The prison complex is just running a legalized American slavery, and it's spearheaded with drug control and drug policy, and it's a fucking crying shame that you can get time for weed, but if you're a hedge fund person who robbed every one of their 401ks, and then you're okay. But if you have weed, you're going to jail for 25 years. You can kidnap a kid at a bus stop, and you can get less time than if you get caught with weed in some states.
Yeah, my state's one of those.
Unacceptable. It's one of two things. We, as Americans, are too stupid to know any better, or we're asleep. And hopefully, and thankfully, there are people who are waking up from that nap. And thankfully, there are people that are proving themselves not to be that stupid. So it's definitely refreshing to see where some people are changing the culture that we live in and the country we live in. I didn't think I would see the day where I would see the great moves that we are making today. But even that is not enough. You and I are probably criminals because we partake in the planet, but people who do serious shit are being let. I mean, there's none of us really in prison for them because there are plant smokers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I ask that question to pretty much every interview I do because I'm from Cali and stuff, man. And the person that I associate with out there, man, they own the Purple Cross and the California's Finest and stuff, man. And that's part of my website too, man. It's like for the politics of it and stuff. It's being built right now, but
no, I appreciate you asking me that.
That was like the most honest answer that I've gotten from anybody, man. I mean, like the most like serious like answer that everybody else is just it's all about just the smoking part of it, man. A lot more to it than just that.
When we can, I'm all about the buzz and all about the good times and partying, but when let's party and enjoy the buzz when there aren't people in cages because of it. I mean, it's unacceptable.
I got two more questions for you, man. What does it take, in your opinion, for a new local band that's just starting up to make it in today's industry?
Wow. Today, I don't know, man. It's so difficult to answer. I got to start off. I don't say that in a way like I don't want to. I'm not going to. I just want you to. I want you to hear I want you to hear my authentic hesitation and concern, because no one told me this when I was trying to see if I wanted to do this. First of all, I would tell someone who's starting a band today that there's more to life than music, and don't forget to live life while you're chasing music. I've seen too many people in the name of following a dream end up strung out dead or in prison because they didn't know where the lines got blurred, and dreams turn into obsessions turn into ugly, dark realities. And I would tell someone who's first today, trying to start today, and has a dream to be a quote-unquote rock star, I would say, don't forget to live life in your journey to trying to become a rock star. There's more to life than music, and the more you experience in life, the better your music will be. So it's kind of a catch-22. stuck staying in school so long that you never get any street knowledge. So I would tell, first of all, that. Secondly, you have to love what you do, because the real estate in music is gone. The real estate, no one is renting or buying. Everyone is squatting. And anyone who owns property, you're basically doing it to watch people live it, and hopefully you can get something out of it. You have to love what you do, because there is no real estate in music. The only way to turn a buck is to do the tours and do the shows. The real estate is gone. You have to have money, and if you don't have money, you at least have to have access to networks of people with money. If you don't have money, then you have to be really, really, really good at the whole social media thing. You basically have to be an electrical, political science engineer if you don't have money to be able to figure out the internet web and figure out how to get your music in front of people. This is so multifaceted. You used to be able to record something and then sell that something and then build from that. But the real estate is gone. So now everyone is scrambling to figure out how to prove themselves, because the labels aren't signing bands unless you're already a band who's trending and popular and already a rock star. But that pretty much brings the question, the chicken or the egg, which came first.
Right.
So I would tell, to sum it up, I would tell a young eager musician, I would tell him to live life. Don't forget to live life while you're chasing music. And I would also tell him to love what you do, because the real estate is gone, and never give up. 20 years later, I'm still being surprised with opportunity. 20 years later, I'm still like wide-eyed and hopeful, even though I've had some really, really dark times. But you gotta love it, and you gotta be able to walk away from it so that your love doesn't turn to hate. You have to know when to walk away from music so that your love doesn't turn to hate. And that's, again, that whole balance between dream and obsession, between obsession and a dark place. It's a balance. So,
powerful, man.
Is what I would tell a young musician.
I've had to walk away from it a couple of times in my journey, man, and refocus.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't, so many beautiful parts of life that have nothing to do with music, that will make your music much more beautiful and much more meaningful once you get to revisit music again.
All right, man, last question, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what we've been talking about, man. It's just some off-the-wall fucking shit, man. Shave vagina, landing strip vagina, or 70s bush vagina?
Ooh, shave and landing strip. Definitely. I mean, I'm going to go with a quote from Californication. I want a little something so I know I'm not dealing with a 10-year-old.
God damn, dude. I mean, I say this shit all the time. That's what I try to tell people, man.
But at the same time, like, yeah. It's millennium. Get with it.
Yeah, man. I love it, man. I go straight for the 70s bush, man. Fuck it, dude. I'm a Debbie Does Dallas fan, man. Come on. I like Signs of Puberty when I look down there, too.
I don't know, man. You get that sweaty, musky thing going on. I don't know.
Oh, man, that's awesome. All right, man. Man, Tito, man, I appreciate the hell of this interview, man. I'm so glad. You know what, man? I don't even use Twitter, man. I used to not to, man. It was like I had a hair up my ass that day, man, and I started, messing around on there, man, and also, man, I've gotten a lot of people have hit me up on there, man, and you hitting me up on there, man, was like, well, that was awesome. Glad I went on there that day now.
Well, I'm excited that you're excited. I'm happy that you made a connection. we are only as cool as people like you say we are, and we're only as cool as the fans say we are. So if you think we're cool, I agree.
Well, there was some reason, man, when I looked at you, when I looked you guys up, man, I was like, I don't know, I knew this interview was just something real about. It's just the type of people you guys are, man, in the band. I don't know. It's like I've interviewed, familiar, like King 810, bands like that, man. I don't know. There's just something real about street. It's just like I don't know how to explain it, man. But
well, you know what I'd like to think it is. You know what I'd like to think it is, Benji. I think it's real. Recognize real. So I'm gonna compliment you on the same token.
Right on, man. Well, man, I'm gonna get this up tonight, man, and I'll shoot you a text, man, or email, or whatever, and let you know when it's up, so you can go check it out. And man, as soon as you guys come down to the Atlanta area, anywhere down in the South, man, definitely be there, man.
Absolutely. We're going to be there real soon. We're going to be there in the Atlanta area with Seasons After sometime between November 21st and November 20th.
Oh, this month. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let me know for sure, man, and tell Chris to get me on, man, and because I'm going to be up there. I live in Augusta right now. It's like 2 hours away, so I'm kind of like in between Atlanta and Charlotte. It's the same direction, pretty much either way. Yeah. And I got Parkway Drive, I think, on the 23rd up there, and then Attica Strain on this 5th, man. So yeah, I'm down for sure. So let me know.
Well, I look forward to it, and I'll text you when I know when we're showing up. But nonetheless, it's going to be a really cool tour, and I have a check that lives in Savannah, and I'm going to be moving to Charleston, South Carolina here in a few months.
No kidding. That's right down the street, man.
Yeah, it is good stuff. Well, thank you so much, Benji. I hope that you got some good stuff, and just make it sound cool, I guess, man.
No, man. I don't have to make you sound cool, man. Real people will know. All right, man. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.
You take care.
All right, bye.